Right, so we have to begin by solving this inequality. Um, I'm going to first remove the parentheses by distributing the 4. So we have 4 times b, that'll be 4b plus 4 times 1 is 4, minus the 8b is greater than 5b plus 22. Now that I've gotten rid of parentheses, I'm going to combine like terms on each side. On the left side, I see a 4b. I see a 4b and a negative 8b, so I can combine those. That would be negative 4b plus 4 greater than 5b plus 22. I have a negative 4b and a 5b. I would like to cancel out one of those. That way I just have one variable term. And it's easier to graph, in my opinion. It's easier to tell which way we shade if I get the variable on the left. So I'm going to subtract 5b from both sides. This leaves me with negative 9b plus 4 is greater than 22. Now we subtract 4 from both sides, so we have negative b is greater than 18. And finally we have to divide by negative 9. And since I'm dividing by a negative value, we need to flip or change the direction of the inequality symbol. So whenever we divide or multiply both sides by a negative, the inequality sign needs to change directions, and we have negative 2. So b is less than negative 2 is the solution to the inequality. Any number less than negative 2 would be a solution. Now to graph this, we would draw a number line. We would mark negative 2, and it's less than negative 2, so we would shade to the left. And since there is no equals of the inequality, we would put an open circle on the graph. An open circle indicates that negative 2 is not part of the solution set. If there was an equals, then that'd be a closed circle. Also, too, sometimes instead of an open circle, there are some books that they'll shade to the left, and then they'll put a parentheses instead. So a parenthesis open circle indicates the same thing, that the number is not included in the solution set. If it was a less than or equal to symbol, if we had the equals underneath, then our graph would be a closed circle, or instead of a closed circle, we would use a bracket. The bracket or the closed circle indicates that the number is included in the solution set. So again, if it's this symbol or this symbol, then it's going to be an open circle. But if it contains the equals underneath the inequality, then we would put a closed circle or a bracket. And so the graphing is multiple choice. I want to pick one that's shaded to the left from negative 2 and has an open circle, so it looks like A. Now they want the interval notation, and so the solutions go all the way to the left, so the solutions range from a low of negative infinity to a high of negative 2. Infinity always gets a parenthesis. We'll never put a bracket by infinity. And if there's an open circle, again, the open circle is the same representation as the parentheses. It means the number isn't included, so we put a parenthesis here. Whenever it's this symbol or this symbol, less than or greater than, and no equal is present, then it'll always be a parenthesis on the interval notation. But if the inequality symbol does have an equals, then on the interval notation we would place a bracket, next to the number. And again, infinity always gets a parenthesis no matter what.